Welcome to week 36 of Scott's Week in Sports today, ladies and gentlemen. I got a stacked show for you today. So without further ado, let's get right into today's show. So first of all, let's talk about the Daytona 500. That'll be tonight at 2:30 on Fox. It is going to be the Great American Race is finally here. The NASCAR season is finally off and running. And I am so excited for another great season of NASCAR. Let's go down who we think is going to be in the top three for this weekend. So for me, I think that pole sitter, Alex Bowman, has been looking very good. He did very well in qualifying last weekend. 20 years old. He did very well last weekend in qualifying, but we'll see if he can get it done today. The other guy I'm liking is another youngster, Chase Elliott, who came in third place last year in Daytona. In my opinion, he should have won last year in Daytona, but he just ran out of gas late. So I think that he learned his lesson from last year, and I think he could get it done today at Daytona. And the other guy I like is Danny Hamlin. He looked very good last weekend, qualified second on the grid last weekend. I think it's going to look very impressive today at Daytona. And my winner, I'm going to go with Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott is going to be pissed off after what happened last year, and I think that he is going to get this thing done today. After what happened last year, he learned his lesson, and I think he's going to get it done today and win his first Daytona 500 today.
Interesting, Scott. I'm going to go with the veterans. I think an angry driver is a driver that crashes. So I'm not going with your boy Chase Elliott. My top three, number 3, the veteran, Jimmy Johnson. He's always a good pick. Number 2, I got Mr. Kyle Busch. And number 1, winning the Daytona 500, is Mr. Brad Keselowski. Because I like the name, he's a good driver, and he's the odds-on favorite in Vegas to win this thing.
He qualified 31st last weekend.
That's all right. I'm going to go with that.
He's going to be way back there.
We'll see.
He'll be way back in the pack to start the weekend. So
you guys watch and see who's right.
So we'll see if he can make it up to the top of the order by the end of the weekend.
Yes.
We'll see. I definitely think he'll be a top 10 finisher, though.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate it.
For sure. Now on to the NBA All-Star Game. Team LeBron versus Team Curry. I think this is going to be a very nice game. Let's go down the rosters first for both teams. First for Team LeBron, it'll be, of course, LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins as your starters. And then the reserves are Bradley Beal, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kevin Love, Russell Westbrook, Victor Oladipo, Porzingis, who will not play, and, of course, John Wall. And for Team Curry, it will be, of course, Steph Curry, James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Joel Embiid, Damian Lillard, Jimmy Butler, Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson, Karl Anthony Towns, and Al Horford. So for me, I think Team Curry's going to win this thing. Steph's been playing very well all season. But I'm going to go with James Harden. I think James Harden is winning the MVP tonight. Harden needs to prove to Curry that he can beat him in the playoffs. And I think he will do that tonight by outscoring Steph Curry tonight. So I'm going to go with James Harden to win the MVP for tonight's game.
The interesting part of this new format is they created it because the West was dominating the East every single year. To me, there's a clear favorite team, and that's Team LeBron. I think they are, on paper, a much better team than Team Curry. I think they're going to blow them out by 20 points. And I think your MVP is going to be Mr. Kevin Durant.
And now on to our baseball predictions for this season. Spring training starts this week. Very excited to finally have some baseball back in our lives this week. And we're going to go down our division winners and our wild cards, and also our Cy Young Award winners and our rookie and our other stuff right now. So first of all, in the American League East, I don't think there's any question in my mind who's winning this division this year, unless some catastrophic injury happens in spring training or during the regular season. I don't see anybody in this division stopping the New York Yankees this year.
Ooh.
The Yankees are the best team in this division.
Ooh.
Judge and Stanton combined for 100 home runs last season. And they also have a guy named Gary Sanchez who hit like 25 last season. So this team is looking really, really good. and I think that they are easily winning the AL East this year, in my opinion.
And as much as I hate to do it, I've got to go with the Yankees. I mean, they were one game away from getting to the World Series last year, and that was without Stanton. You got Stanton in that lineup there, absolutely stacked. I think they are going to win the East by at least 5 games.
Now into the American League Central Division. One of the better divisions last year. 2 teams got into the playoffs last year, but it was a very wide margin of victory for the team that won that division last year. And I'm going to pick them to win it again this year, and that would be the Cleveland Indians. The Indians looked very impressive last year. Everybody's favorite pick to make it to the World Series last year. I think Lindor and Brantley and this Encarnacion and this team is going to do very well this year. And I think that they will win the American League Central once again this year and move on to another playoff run for the Indians.
I hate the fact that I keep copying Scott, but I think there's a clear best team in this division. That's the Cleveland Indians. They were actually, if everyone remembers, the favorite to get to the World Series before the playoffs begun. They got a 2-0 lead up on the Yankees before the Yankees came roaring back. And so I think the Cleveland Indians will win this division going away.
Next up in the American League West, we're probably going to agree again here, but how can you not pick the defending World Series champion Houston Astros to win this division? They ran away with it last year. I think it's going to be a little closer this year, but I still think the Astros are winning this division easily this year.
I agree. I mean, I sound like Scott's trained monkey, but I agree 100%. In fact, the Astros picked up Pittsburgh's ace from last year, and so they have 3 quality starting pitchers. I think the Astros are going to win this division going away. Very strong American League division winners.
Next up in the National League East, we're probably going to agree again here, but I'm going to take Dave Martinez as the new manager of the Nationals. Bryce Harper's going to blow up again this year as he does every season. So I'm going to take the Nationals to make the playoffs and win this division again. But be careful. I think the Mets could definitely contend here. They were a little bit hurt last year, but I think that if they can stay healthy, they can contend for a playoff spot as well. But I'm going to take the Nats to win the division under first-year manager Dave Martinez.
I agree again, and I'm partial to this team. Dave Martinez is a Lake Howell grad, where myself and my beautiful wife Lisa went to high school and graduated from. I got to play with Dave Martinez in a game, so I'm a big Dave Martinez and Washington Nationals fan this year. I think the Nationals will win this division going away.
Next up in the NL Central, I could see 2 teams winning this division this year, but I'm not going to bid against Joe Madden here. I'm going to take the Cubs to win this division once again. 3 straight years for the Cubbies. I think they're going to win the division. They got a very good team again this year. Arrieta's going to throw the ball very well this season, as he should. And I think Schwarber's going to do well this year. Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo. That is a very good lineup. I'm going to take the Cubs to win the NL Central once again this year.
I hate the fact to continue to agree with Scott, but to me, with the addition of Yu Darvish, the Cubs now have a really strong starting rotation. I think the Cubs are going to win this by at least 4 or 5 games.
Next up in the NL West, probably the most stacked division in baseball. This is really hard for me to pick here, but I'm going to go with my pick to win the World Series this year. That would be the Los Angeles Dodgers. I think the Dodgers have a very good team this year. Clayton Kershaw's been pitching great. They were so close last year from getting where they need to be, but I think Yasiel Puig and the return of Matt Kemp is going to help out. I'm going to take the Dodgers to win this division by about 3 games.
Dang it. 6 for 6. And I'm sure we'll be wrong on at least 2 or 3 of these, but I think the Dodgers, I mean, you look at 1 game away from the World Series, epic World Series against the Astros. They have all their young stars returning that have another year of maturation. I think the Dodgers are going to be an excellent team. They're going to win this division.
And now for our wild card teams. My first wild card team is pretty simple here. I'm going to go with the Boston Red Sox. Alex Cora is the new manager down there in Boston, but I still think he has a lot of young talent to work with in Boston with Jackie Bradley and with a very good outfield for the Red Sox. And if Pedroia can stay healthy, I think that they could maybe take the lead in this division once during the season, but I'm going to take them to get a wild card spot in that number 1 spot. In the number 2 spot, I think America is finally going to be proud of this. I think we finally see Mike Trout in the playoffs this year. The Angels have had a great offseason. They have signed a lot of great players to great contracts. And I think the addition of Shohei Ohtani is going to be one of the big reasons, probably one of the number one prospects out of Japan this season. One of the best Japanese players we've ever seen. So I'm going to take the Angels to get the second wildcard spot and go to Boston in the wildcard game.
I am going to go with the Red Sox as well. I think they are, if they were not in the East, they would be a favorite to win a division. And I'm not picking this because I think it's right. I'm picking this with my heart. I'm going to pick the Tampa Bay Rays in the biggest upset in baseball history. They have the worst team on paper, but they are going to be a scrappy bunch, and somehow they're going to get enough wins to just sneak into the wild card spot. Either that or they're going to win 50 games. One of the two. Thank you.
Now for the National League. This team was absolutely horrendous last year. Absolutely terrible. But I think the additions to Evan Longoria and Andrew McCutchen and a resurging Madison Bumgarner this year are going to get the Giants back to the playoffs this year. They came in dead last in that division last year. I do not expect that this year. That is going to be a very good team to watch this season. Watch out for the Giants this year in the NL. And for that second spot, it's really tough. There's a lot of teams that I think could get it, but I think it's going to be the Arizona Diamondbacks. Paul Goldschmidt did very well last season. Zach Greinke pitched very, very well. But I think it's going to be the Diamondbacks getting that second spot. But for me, it's down to three teams for that second spot between the Mets, the Rockies, and the Diamondbacks. So I'm going to go with the Diamondbacks to get the playoff spot over the other two.
I think those are good picks. I'm going to go with the team that no one ever talks about because they're in the middle of the heartland, and that's the Milwaukee Brewers. They had a very good season last year, 10 games above 500. I think the Brewers are going to get in there as a second wild card spot. And in the first wild card spot, I agree with Scott. I think the Arizona Diamondbacks, if they were in any other division last season, would have a good chance to win their division, but they're in the Dodgers division. I think they are going to be the other wild card team. So a really deep National and American League, both.
And that will do it for this episode of Scott's Weekend Sports Today, ladies and gentlemen. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Leave a nice comment down below with your predictions for this season in baseball. And subscribe if you are new to my channel. And share this channel with your friends. And I will see you guys right back here next week on Scott's Weekend Sports right here on YouTube. See you later, guys.
See you guys.